What's going
We are
on,
live.
folks? What's up? Welcome to tonight's episode of the Run Gun Podcast. I'm JPeeps. That man right there
I'm
is
a
A. Yes, sir. Um, we don't know if Mr. Sassor's coming tonight or not, but if he comes, he comes. If he doesn't, he doesn't. We're not gonna rush him. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. So definitely gonna talk about this MEAC Swag Challenge game. We're gonna talk about the college football games that are occurring this weekend as
the
well.
goodies.
Yes, yes. What else we got? Honestly, something just popped up that I think is gonna wow a lot of people with this Brandon Ayuk saga.
That needs to hurry up and end. It's just getting annoying at this point.
I would agree. Also, we're gonna
It's
talk
old.
about some notable cuts. Wait, go ahead, AC. What you're gonna say?
I'm saying it's just getting old. We'll talk about that. Continue on to the cuts. Cut day happened yesterday. Practice squad guys got signed today. NFL
Yep.
season is in 8 days. Almost there, guys. Almost there.
Yes, finally.
And
As
then
well too. Also,
ready to roll.
you said you're ready to roll.
Yeah. Be a friend, tell a friend. Say what else we had to say.
Well, the only thing I was gonna say is, you had basically some disappointment that occurred this past weekend. Something really grinded my gears this weekend.
What?
I'm gonna talk about it on the other side of the intro.
Mm.
Just know something really grinded my gears, and oh by God, I'm gonna talk about it. So without further ado, folks, get comfy, enjoy. We have a fun one tonight. If you have not already, like, share, and subscribe. Here we go. Let's do it.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is JP.
This is the Bug.
This is JC.
This is Flash. This is Jimi Hendrix.
And you're listening to
And you are listening to
And you're listening to
And you're listening to the Run and Gun Podcast.
All
We gotta
right.
tweak that intro a little bit. That thing looking kind of glitchy.
Say that again. I'm so sorry.
I said we gotta tweak that intro a little bit. Looking glitchy.
Yeah, we do. Go ahead and cancel
Send me
that
the video and
subscription.
I'll work on that in my free time.
But yeah, go ahead and
Cool.
cancel.
Without further ado, let's run this thing. What was grinding your gears or whatever it is you were saying?
All right, so yeah, let's take care of the house cleaning first. First thing that
Mm.
grinded my gears was, so you know as well as everybody else. I was at the game, right? I was at the game Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
at the X Swag Challenge, and watching the game, wondering what's going on because the injury timeout takes place. I don't see it.
Oh.
I don't see it happen real life, and like
I know where
as
this
it
is going.
occurs. So I'm wondering, I'm like, geez, why does this dude from the center from Norfolk bent over, or lineman from Norfolk bent over, like basically squatting and stuff? And then I see the running back go off the field too. I'm wondering what's happening. So at first, I'm thinking, okay, maybe he got hit in the privates. Maybe the running back got hit in the privates. Something happened because when you get hit, you just go down. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Come to find out, I watched the game Monday morning while waiting to get on the plane to go home. Tell me how these two done threw up on the sideline and in the field of play. They send the trainer out to the field to clean it up, but the trainer has no gloves on and is only cleaning vomit human vomit up with a towel.
All right, moving on.
Can you say hepatitis B?
Ring was that? Oh, hepatitis. Just make sure they're not Magic Johnson. Moving on.
You need to stop. You are horrible.
I'm sorry. I feel bad for that trainer, bro. I wouldn't want to do that.
Dude, honestly, they could. You could
cleaning up. I don't like cleaning up dog vomit, much less I ain't cleaning up no human vomit without gloves on and a mask and like a whole body suit. Just saying.
You couldn't pay.
That's not for me.
You just couldn't pay.
Anyways, I watched that game. I was watching it on the phone because I was out, and I saw that game. I was like, that first quarter, boy. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, and they came around. They came around and they turned it around in that second quarter, and the defense just took that thing and clamped it down. Outside of one corner who was struggling heavily.
Yeah.
It was overall a pretty good game after the second quarter on.
Yes, one thing I will say that I took away, and this is another thing I caught when I went back and watched it. And folks, there are some good things that you could take away from this. There are some things that you take away and you scratch your head about. For me, one thing I take away that I liked is when you go back and look at it, James Ash was getting penetration. Naaron Jenkins had a good game. But I also look at the fact, too, of when you go back and look at the second half, how did Norfolk get 23 points? Okay. Let's do math here.
Well, the run defense didn't know how to tackle or have any gap control whatsoever in the first two drives. And then after on the secondary, one guy in the secondary got cooked. Really bad.
Yeah. I also, Ashton, what's up, man? I definitely did enjoy Atlanta. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Atlanta is different, man. If you've never been, you got to go.
I've been to Atlanta. It's all right.
Yeah, I will say, I'd rather live here than live there. But yeah, but again, so going back to it, how did Norfolk get 23 points? So at one point, you're down, or you're up 17-10. So as it happens, and as I'm seeing, basically saying, all occurring in second half, Jamil Sanders gets beat on a deep route. That results in a field goal for Norfolk. Okay, now you just gave them 3 more points. And then you get beat deep again. And what do you know? That results in another touchdown. And then you fumble. That results in what? Another 3?
No, so it was the fumble. The fumble did happen, but they were the touchdown was the last score that Norfolk State had, and they went for 2, and the linebackers tackled Jalen Daniels. Keep it from taking the lead.
Yes. So it's just I look at a lot of it, and it's like those 3 plays in the second half stand out most to me. I look at it and I'm just like, y'all realize if you don't surrender those 3 plays, this game ends 31-10. 31, 31-10, 31-14. Yeah, 31-14. Tripping. But yeah, so that's just one thing I took away from it. I'm just like, despite everything that went wrong in the second half, despite the 227 yards Norfolk State accumulated, majority in the first quarter. Once you settled in, and also too, I'm gonna go back and share this as well too. Where's that? There it is. I'm gonna go back and share this. This can kind of be our little film session right here. I don't know if y'all noticed.
That's textbook wrap up on the legs.
I don't know if y'all noticed, but look at James Ash right here. Look how his penetration stuffs the run or stuffs that initial read, and it forces Jalen Daniels to bounce it outside for Eric Horn to clean up.
They did say, I think Norfolk State botched that play call. They couldn't hear the play call because their player
So
was
they botched it?
Well, yeah, they had one of their players was trying to ramp up the crowd, and Daniels couldn't hear it, and then everything was off, and then Ash blew it up. I was like, "Hey, take it how you get it." Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's true. You gotta take it how you can
Take
get
it how you get it.
Bingo. He did, and this is why I say he played a good game. I was honestly, offensively, I was impressed once they settled in, because even me and Ace were talking about it during the game. I was like,
Daniel Richardson was rough early on, boy.
yeah, but when he settled in, he was on. When he settled
looked
in,
like Raymond Felton.
what'd you say he looked like?
He looked like Raymond Felton from when he was with the Thunder, except with Isaiah Thomas's height.
But
Or
I
no,
will say,
one or two. It was all good.
Buddy settled in. He looked good. You definitely have a quarterback. One thing you can take away from even watching James Colsey's coaches show on Monday night was, he hinted at the fact that, or not James Colsey, but Henry Burris hinted at the fact that, at some point we'll see Junior Muratovic, which honestly at this point, I hate to break it to you, but I feel like right now the only way we see Junior Muratovic is if this team's up by 28 with 5 to 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That is the only way I think you may see Junior Muratovic.
I would prefer if I don't see him at all, but it's all good. You'll probably see him next week because they're going to get blown out.
You mean South Carolina State's going to get blown out?
Oh, wait, South Carolina State, Miami's week, what, 2, 3?
Miami's technically week 2.
Yeah, week 2 Miami's. That's the one that's going to be a blowout. Not second one. You won't see him next week. You'll see him the week after.
Possibility, yes. And you'll see him also in week 4 when they play Troy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I watched this game and I was like, I can see FAMU's going to win the SWAC, but they're definitely not beating Miami or Troy. And they won't be within 3 scores of either game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, sadly, I have to agree from what I saw. But again, the biggest improvement, like James Cole has even said, and like I said after the game on Twitter, the biggest improvements made from week 1 to week 2. That's what we're going to find out. And Chanis Berry he looked awesome. Once he settled in, he looked awesome. Him and Jamari Gassett. Ace Cobb needs to, if he catches that corner route, that's the 31 points right there.
That was the one when it went straight through the guy's chest and stomach, right?
Yeah, he just plainly dropped.
He just, yeah, that's a recess type of drop.
Yeah, you got to have those. You got to have those. But also, you South Carolina State comes to town this weekend, and funny enough, I was able to find a roster finally for them after constantly looking to see what this team has, and I gotta say, if you can't go based off of what you saw South Carolina State doing a year ago. You have to look at what Benedict did, because that's where Chanis Berry came from. So there's 4 players that stand out to me that were brought in right off the rip. Mason Kidd, transfer that comes in to play quarterback, who I think might be the starter. KZ Adams, who comes in from Georgia State. Caden High, who I think transferred from Benedict. And Dominic Howard. Another 3 players. And so far from what I've seen, and we'll talk about this on Saturday too, folks, the film from the Benedict-Fort Valley State game did show an offense that's able to, a team that's able to do whatever they want. But given it is D2 ball, but also given Benedict just outright dominated Fort Valley, 4 things stood out: physical, tough, gritty, an opportunistic defense. Those are 4 things that if I'm coming into this game, you got to be mindful of if you're James Colsey, if you're Coach Patterson, if you're Coach Henry and Coach Burris and company. I would be very mindful of this. I think thankfully now this team's been battle tested, so you should have a good understanding that you are the champs, everyone's going for you, but this is not going to be easy. It's just not. I would expect a dogfight. So for those of you that have, high blood pressure or high anxiety,
make sure you take the aspirin before you go watch the game.
Yes. If you need a shot of some Hennessy or you need a shot of some of the good stuff before you go in, before you watch this game, you better take it. Because I anticipate a dogfight. I don't think South Carolina State's going to win, but they're going to push.
It's going to be within 1 score.
I'm hoping it's not within 1 score, but hoping at least 10. But
I have no idea what the spread is, but if I was thinking, I would say it's probably -6.
That wouldn't be off, honestly. That would not be off.
Well, anyways, on another side of that, with Daniel Richardson, it's kind of like his pocket presence was good. He could get out of sacks. I like that with him. But
he's very strong in the pocket. That took away.
Yeah, and him getting out, that was good. But he just got to make sure he looks almost like a step slow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think because it's it's the first game, and it's like
looked like he had some rust on. He had to knock it off and whatnot. But I don't know. I think if he plays a little faster, but also goes through the progressions like he did, I think he'll be fine.
And that's one thing he alluded to in the post-game presser. He alluded to the fact of, yes, this offense needs to start a little bit faster when they do get on the field. It's because it seemed a little bit robotic the first 2 series when they took the field. It seemed like they just were playing to not make a mistake instead of just playing to, execute the task at hand. And what you saw in the first 2 drives is what you see when you play not to make a mistake. Now, the other game that's taking place this weekend, too, down in Miami, my God. So you have the 2 teams that are projected to win their respective conferences playing in this game. Dude, this game's about to look so pitiful on TV. It's going to be embarrassing from a attendance standpoint. Now, you may get a good product on the field, but
-9.5 FAMU. That's a field goal off, but I would still take the that spread on them.
That's realistic. I can get with that. But yeah, this game here, I'm gonna watch it. But dude, you're gonna see why this is FAMU's game and why FAMU needs to be in it against whoever. You're gonna see Saturday because it's gonna be poorly attended. I can feel it because honestly, you can go on Ticketmaster right now. There's a lot of tickets still available for this one. It is nowhere near what it was touching the last 3 years. So, yeah.
I mean, I don't think Alabama State's going to travel very well in North Carolina State.
Not down to Miami.
Come on now.
If this was in Atlanta, okay, that's different. But down to Miami at 3 o'clock in the middle of the day, no.
That is one of the FAMU not being in this game is one of the many reasons why 80 Sykes isn't there anymore.
I'm glad someone said it. Because look, I didn't want to be that guy, but he's right. It's absolutely true.
I don't mind being the guy. I'll say it. I'll say it. It's one of the reasons why she ain't there no more because, I mean, you want to do the MEAC swag challenge, like that doesn't bring in nearly as much.
Now, I will say,
it actually does get more than the Orange Blossom?
I don't know if it gets more, but the attendance was excellent. 22,000 attended this game. FAMU's part of like three out of like 5 of the highest attended like MEAC swag challenges belong to FAMU.
That makes sense because FAMU's not is probably closer to Atlanta than it is to Miami.
4 hours both ways. Well, no, my bad. 4 hours to Atlanta, 8 to Tallahassee's 8 hours if you drive down to Miami. But
yeah, that's what I figured. Because it's like 4 hours from Tampa, and it's like 4 hours to Tallahassee from Tampa. So I probably closer to Atlanta. So it's probably better to travel to Atlanta than it is to Miami. But like just the sheer revenue of being in Miami, I think probably generates more than being in Atlanta. I don't know.
That's debatable in some circles. In some circles, it's debatable.
I don't know. Miami's just better than Atlanta, but whatever.
To me personally, I mean, I prefer Miami over Atlanta. Me personally, because I just know the area a little bit better. But again, that's just me also looking to have more of a good time. But
I think the players would agree, but they would also get themselves in trouble, so they got to keep focused when they go down to Miami.
Yeah.
And Atlanta, too. Don't end up like Lil Williams.
Now, to touch on the MEAC swag challenge before we move forward, 1.3 million viewers was excellent. That is the highest ever viewed MEAC swag challenge. Highest ever.
It was a good game. So I mean, it doesn't make sense if it's close, competitive. People tune in at the end to help the ratings also. So yeah.
Yeah. No, and then I think too, it's like it's week 1. Florida State and Georgia Tech was essentially a dud, and then you look, and then honestly, all the other games weren't viewable if you were in certain markets. This is in front of a national audience. You had both bands on display. You had Tyrese there. You had a 1 point. You had a 1 point deciding the outcome. You had, what else did you have? But it was in Atlanta. Like, dude.
It was at what, Georgia Tech Stadium, right?
Georgia State.
My apologies.
Which is also the former home of the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, so that's a pretty big attendance place anyway.
Yeah, like I think that stadium caps out at 24,000. FAMU in 90%
Norfolk State.
And 90% FAMU, 10% of Norfolk State put in 22,000 in that stadium.
Yeah, it's not bad. Dude. But also when you think Hard Rock Stadium for the Orange Blossom is bigger than that by a lot.
Yeah. And I think the Orange Blossom Classic topped out at 1 year, I think it was 18,000? I think 18,000. I can't remember off the top of my head. But to have 1.3 million views for an HBCU game, excellent. Nothing will top that. I don't think for the rest of the year until depending on who you get in the Celebration Bowl, if FAMU's there.
I won't top it. I doubt it will top it.
Now, what else did we got on this one here?
Oh, yeah, USF was trying to find Bethune-Cookman fans. That was hilarious.
Oh, dude. That's the other thing.
Had no fans. That was hilarious.
That's the other funny thing. And I guess it is a testament of honesty. So, for those that don't know that are watching,
my boys was looking for Bethune-Cookman fans for Hate Week because Bethune-Cookman's about to get themselves raw dogged by USF, but
there's
only 6 fans we found.
It was so funny because you have USF fans saying, "Well, Bethune only pops out for FAMU," which is true, as many of us know. And damn, Bethune was hiding in the grass, not trying to see you. I'm like, damn, you definitely you'll talk shit for days to FAMU and about FAMU with other SWAC schools. But when USF comes calling, you know where to be found.
I think USF misses FAMU to play against. I'm gonna be real. I think they do miss FAMU because FAMU at least had a fan base that was engaging, and like Bethune's like, how do I explain it?
They lay down and just take it.
It's not even that. They just like go and you're like, I'm trying to think of a proper analogy for this, but it's kind of like you're playing like, let's say like Call of Duty or whatever, and you're just looking around for somebody, and everybody's hiding because they're all playing scared. Everybody's camping. That's pretty much what it is, and it's no fun at that point.
Fair statement.
That's basically what it's like. Like Bethune was running from it. They didn't want no smoke.
This is true because they know what's gonna happen. Dude, they were the same way when both FAMU and Bethune joined the conference. Bethune-Cookman came in, didn't say much. They sat in the corner, took their beating from a lot of teams. FAMU came in, stood up to everybody, beat the shit out of everybody, and kept going. So, I mean, you're going to see the same thing Saturday. You're going to see the exact same thing.
I don't know. It's just hilarious how it was like they were just looking so hard for anybody, and the most they found was this old lady who was willing to engage in trash talk.
Stop.
I'm gonna see if I can find her. I'll shout her out just because that was hilarious last night. I'm gonna find it. Give me a second. You keep talking while I find it.
So yeah, folks. So moral is as far as this weekend goes, FAMU and South Carolina State. If I am FAMU, I'm expecting South Carolina State's going to test you on the interior. They're going to try to create mismatches in the gaps. So it's up to linebackers, whoever they find and utilize this weekend, to be a sound and assignment sound, gap sound, and shoot the right gaps. Because there were multiple times when you look back at the MEAC Challenge where James Ash and Cam McDonald were getting penetration, and they would just be shooting. Nobody would be there shooting the right gaps behind them in the linebacker position to clean up the play. And that just can't happen. And that's why I continue to say, biggest improvements from week 1 to week 2, get the right people on the field, get the wrong people off. I don't know where Demorier Tate is right now, but for some reason, Jameel Sanders is not, in my opinion, right now, not it at the corner. I get it, he's a safety, but my policy. If you're gonna try, if you're aspiring to be an NFL player, you need to be good at both. Playing DB and playing corner and playing safety, as well as lining up in the nickel position to play in the slot or to come off the edge of the blitz or play the role of an outside linebacker. You got to. That's, again, I know some people feel indifferent about that, but that's just me. Well,
I don't know who this Mary's children is, but she was the only one who actually tried engaging in shit talk with USF. Everybody else was all sad and wimpy.
I think with that we can go ahead and we can transition.
Moving on over.
We're gonna skip to the rest of college football for this evening, actually, and we're gonna talk about the rest of college football first before we go to the NFL.
Okay, I was like, what? All right, college football. Boy, I feel it's so funny. Before we get into all of it, right?
Are we going to talk about the first or what we got?
No, I'm going to recap before I get into these.
All right, I'll leave this here.
All right, leave this here, right? So somebody went and found this where they showed I want to say it was, 3 years ago? What this year is? 2024, right? So this would be 2020 high school rankings. Somebody found the rankings, right? Number 1. Yeah, DJ Uiagalelei was number 1. And guess who was number 2?
Oh my gosh, wasn't it CJ Stroud?
Mm-hmm. How's that working out for everybody nowadays? But he couldn't even throw a touchdown against Georgia Tech. My. How it has fallen.
Beautiful.
But also on the other side of it, it's kind of hilarious that I can't even it's more into the NFL side, so I'll talk about that later. But the year before, 3 years before it was Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields were 1 and 2, and to be honest, both of them have pretty much. It's not like they really disappointed. It's just situation is different for one than the other. But those 1 and 2s pretty much worked out, right? This 1 and 2, it's like Florida State. I understand you lost a lot of guys in the NFL. I know you went to Ireland, which is pretty far, but so the hell did Georgia Tech. You had absolutely no business, and I mean no business losing to Georgia Tech like that.
Dude, honestly, the saddest excuse I've seen or that I heard was, "Oh well, if you would play bad if you had jet lag too."
So did the other team, man.
Exactly.
So did the other team.
And that was technically a home game for Georgia Tech. That was. If you didn't see the painting in the end zone, it said Georgia Tech.
Oh, you mean like that? Okay, yeah.
That was Georgia Tech's home game, and they were essentially playing the role of the road team. And then the last time Georgia Tech
and you still lost.
And the last time Georgia Tech beat a top 10 team was their homecoming back in 2015 when they had a kick six moment against Florida State.
Okay, but we can't really consider Florida State a top 10 team because it's not in the same team as from last year.
It's not, but
I mean, I guess people's like, okay, DJ Uiagalelei is gonna be good. You got Wayne McCoy. You got Roy Dell Williams. Like, okay, fine. It's like,
now one thing I will say, and I'll have mercy on for Florida State is, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this question up now.
No, they're not dead.
Wait, what's that again?
They're not dead.
Yeah, no, they're not. I would say,
especially with this 12-team thing,
they're not. There's ground to be made. There is ground to be made.
But you just got to beat the living shit out of Boston College this week,
and that's easier said than done. Traditionally, for some reason, since about the end of the 90s and into the new millennium,
that's always a dogfight game.
It always is. If you go back and look at Florida State and Georgia Tech's history, for some reason, Florida State, whether win or lose, has always had trouble putting Georgia Tech away. Always. I think the only time we've really seen Florida State blow them out was, I think, the 2021 season. I think it was 2021. They won 41-16. Outside of that, every game's been close. Every matchup. And I got news for you. Monday night inside Doak, it was in Castellanos at quarterback. Florida State better buckle their chin straps and be ready.
Castellanos? That's Boston College quarterback?
Yes. Let me just clarify.
No wonder that name sounds familiar. Where have I heard that before?
Florida State's actually favored by 16.5.
No, but that name sounds familiar. It might just be common, but name does sound familiar.
Anyway. Thomas Castellanos.
Name sounds very familiar.
He had 2,248 passing yards last season, 1,113 rushing yards last season.
Oh, you know why it sounds familiar? I remember watching Clemson versus Boston College last year. That's why I remember the name. Yeah. Anyways, now for the goodies.
So the goodies are, I guess, the week one slate right here. So it kicks off Thursday night, North Dakota State, Colorado.
That game right there. The fun one.
Oh, wait, which one are we on? We'll go to it. Are we talking
top
about this
left? One? This one, I'm watching like this.
Thursday night?
Yeah, boy.
Oh, yeah, look.
Right, North Dakota State has a chance to do the legit funniest thing of 2024.
The floor is open.
Boy, and North Dakota State wins. Dion. You might need to go to every press conference with a face mask on and never speak again.
Gotta be, dude.
Only thing he's allowed to say is, "I'm just here so I won't get fined."
Dude, if they lose that game to the number 2 team in the country in the FCS. Because mind you, this screen right now is showing 3 ranked FCS teams. 2 of them are number 1 and number 2 right now.
Jackrabbits.
That's another one right there. Oklahoma State better not be overlooking them.
FCS Nation better stand up and be ready.
Actually, you know what? I need to change this question. I need to change this.
Oh boy, he's about to pop out some of the most. Let me shut up.
No,
Okay, that's not that bad. I thought he was going to
will North Dakota State and South Dakota State pull it off?
I give him a 40% chance.
I do. I'm right there with you. I'll go even high as to say 50. By the way, also too, shout out to what I think was the number 3 or 5 team in the country in the FCS. Shout out to Montana State. Shout out to the Bobcats against the state of New Mexico. Hold it off, baby.
Hold this one, New Mexico. Sorry, I stayed. Anyways, moving on now to be more serious topics. North Dakota State, Shadir Sanders, Deion Sanders. Y'all better not lose that. Travis Hunter better not lose that game.
I caught the tail end of that.
That's all I gotta say about that, because all the talk y'all been talking the last 6 months, give or take. Yeah, y'all about to be looking like the biggest fools if you lose that game. Now they should win this game. I ain't gonna say that it's like all, doom and gloom here for me, but I would say they should win the game. They have a good team on paper. Now the other issue is your O-line still sucks. Hopefully you actually block, and your defense knows how to tackle, because North Dakota State would run, and you better be able to keep up. Now for the next game, keep going. And before we move on to the next game.
I was gonna say, honestly, like, I don't know why, but this North Dakota State Colorado game gives me like those 2 Celebration Bowls. It gives me like that. It gives you like that South Carolina State Jackson State vibe, that NC Central Jackson State type vibe. Like it gives me that type of feel, like, like Colorado's supposed to win it, but then it's like, North Dakota State's downhill run, gritty, pop a few deep shots if they need to, get flashy if they need to. It gives me that type of vibe. Like, I just hope they know what they're getting into.
All right. So now West Virginia, Penn State. Penn State has no business losing that game.
It's in Morgantown. Don't put it past the Mountaineers.
No, I know. I would say West Virginia. I probably will take West Virginia in that game. But if Penn State loses, it'll be hilarious as well.
Yeah.
Georgia, Clemson. Yeah. Carson Beck's gonna obliterate them, so I don't got to worry about Dabo Swinney and his irrelevant ass in 2024. It's probably pretty much Celtics Shaq.
This is the first time since 2014 where Clemson's coming into the season as the underdog.
Deservedly. Anyways, I mean, it's pretty much deserved. I mean, the times have passed Clemson by. With their reluctance to use the tools available to them in NIL and transfer portal.
Fair assessment. Now,
it's pretty much saying everybody in wars are using machine guns, and Clemson is still using swords and bow and arrows.
Yeah, essentially.
That's pretty much how college football is now with Clemson. And the only thing stopping Georgia back is the Georgia State Patrol.
Bro, you need to honestly. What's crazy is, like,
I'm sorry.
After spending a weekend in Georgia, and seeing Georgia Highway Patrol just like everywhere, I see why that team has like a long list of just like.
Bro, Georgia State Patrol, I think, has got like the highest arrest record or some shit like that.
They do.
They just be on it. You go like 5 over, they're pulling you over for it.
Dude, no, they really do. Like they have a
Like
law.
Florida, the speed limit for the highways are what 70. You can go 80 and nobody will bother you. You can go 85, nobody will bother you in Florida. You go 75 in Georgia, you're getting pulled over.
Yeah. And dude, the crazy thing about it is like they have a rule that's posted on one of the highways. You can't even don't have your phone in your hand while driving. You can't even have your phone in your hand. Like you just have to not have it was crazy.
Yeah, like I said, the biggest op for Georgia football this year from winning it all is the Georgia police.
Yeah. Now the other game here in Stillwater, the number 1 team in the country in the FCS, going up against the Pokes. Mike Gundy better not be farting around, dude.
Nah, Oklahoma they should win it. They have I would say I have more confidence in Oklahoma State than Colorado. But now watch I say that and watch Colorado win and Oklahoma State lose. That would just fit the bill of how it goes. But
if they both drop, ooh.
FCS stand up and celebrate. That's all I got to say on that.
It'd be a dark day for the Big 12 if they lose both of those.
Oh yeah, this will be Colorado's first game in the Big 12.
Mm-hmm. And then the one at 3:30 that everybody's looking at too. I'm gonna be looking at this one.
Battle of mid. Miami should win that.
Yeah, 19th ranked Miami against an unranked Florida team, and Miami's supposedly getting all this love for the playoff and to win the ACC.
Cam Ward, probably best quarterback in Florida right now, behind Byron. Well, Byron Brown is probably second, given the shit show we saw DJ Uiagalelei put out there. But now it's up to the team Miami with Mario Cristobal still there? No,
Mario
Cristobal is still there. Okay.
Yes.
It's up to them to figure out, okay, we actually need to show up this year, or it's put up or shut up with Miami with Cristobal now.
Mm-hmm.
And Gators, y'all got nothing. I'm gonna be real. I have no faith in y'all and or Billy Napier. So yeah.
So he's going with the Canes?
Yeah.
In the swamp?
Well, I have no faith in whoever the hell the quarterback is right now. I forgot the name.
Graham Mertz. Graham Mertz.
Oh god, yeah. Cam Ward's gonna win that game.
Oh wow, Ace going with the Canes. I like it. Okay.
Man, tell me who Florida actually has. I really don't know a single player in Florida.
Damn, okay, look, you got me. Well, you know what? Here.
I'm sorry. As a person who talks about sports, I should know somebody on the University of Florida's football team. This year, man, they've had so much turnover. Like Ricky Pearsall's gone, Trevor Etienne left. Like those were the only two guys I knew.
So okay, Montrell Johnson, 817 yards last season rushing. Ricky Pearsall is gone. Jordan Castell led the team last year with 59 tackles at DB, which you don't want a DB to do. Devin Moore led the team in interceptions, and he only had one interception.
I'm sorry.
See,
let the team with a one.
Graham Mertz last season, 20 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 2,903 yards.
Bruh. Okay, I guess that's the SEC. It's a little more difficult, but still, that's just like meh.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
They have DJ Lagway's the guy's name, right? He's a
freshman. Yeah. They have him as a true freshman. I mean,
he's gonna be starting by the end of the second half of the season.
The Ace is not high.
Definitely playing in that Florida State game. I didn't think Graham Mertz is surviving that long. Anyways,
Ace is not high on that.
Miami. Don't screw the pooch. Have this one right in your bag, even if it is in the swamp.
Yeah, no, they can't be intimidated.
I'm gonna be real. The swamp is kind of like what the Superdome is for the Saints now. Nobody's afraid to go in it and play. It doesn't have the same aura it had 10 years ago.
See, now watch you say all this stuff and then watch Florida pull this off.
First, an SEC team, they should win against the ACC, but it's Florida, bro. I have no faith in them. They should win, but I have no faith they will do it. That's why I'm thinking Miami.
Fair statement. That's fair.
If it's an SEC team versus an ACC team, I will generally always take the SEC team. I just have no faith in Florida to do it. What they're supposed to do.
Traditionally, yeah. You're wrong. Now, one on the top right, South Carolina State, FAMU. South Carolina State.
We've already talked about it.
Yeah, honestly, dude, I think FAMU's going to cover that spread and pull that one out. Honestly,
first new era for Texas A&M. Kind of interested to see how it goes with them.
Yeah,
they're not the one. They're not the one who had I think it was baseball. The coach left Texas and went to A&M or something like that, but not football.
It was baseball. I think the coach left. He left Texas A&M and went to Texas.
Yeah, the other way around. Okay. But yeah, anyways, new era for Texas A&M football because Jimbo's gone.
Yeah,
Jimbo Dimbo gone already. Anybody miss him? Nobody misses him. Anyways, what's his name? Riley Leonard with Notre Dame. He was gonna be a first round pick in this year's NFL draft. I want to see what he does. Well, when I say this year, I mean like this most recent NFL draft. But I am interested to see what he does with Notre Dame. I mean, Notre Dame, I'm going to be real. Outside of offensive linemen, none of them have really panned out in the NFL. Tell me a single Notre Dame wide receiver, quarterback, or running back who's actually made a name for themselves in the NFL in the last 10 years. And I'll wait.
Yeah, no. I'll have one for you.
Exactly. Moving on. Michael Mayer, tight end. He's a little different story. Tight ends are kind of the only thing they have out there for them right now. And Cole Kmet. Only two guys from Notre Dame right now and on offense who've done anything. But I'll be interested to see with Notre Dame, I guess. Texas A&M, though. SEC got loaded up.
It's going to be loud. It's going to be rocking. It's going to be crazy in there for the Aggies.
I think they needed a fresh face in there, so to just shoot them in the arm to boost them back up. So it'll be a fun game.
They did, and I'm confident. I think that Texas A&M will pull this off. I have no faith in Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's going to be another top 10 team that may fall, unless Notre Dame just pops out and just goes crazy and shows like, oh my gosh, like we're that.
Notre Dame, you make the playoffs, you're going to run into an SEC team and get your butt beat every year.
Yeah.
So who cares?
But I think Texas A&M is catching Notre Dame at the perfect time. So I think.
Anyway, you have Notre Dame to be in book. That's all I got to say.
The next one here, you got the Orange Blossom Classic. So the battle within the game, you have Andrew Body who transfers in from Texas Southern to Alabama State. Alabama State's favored to win the SWAC.
That's my thoughts.
You have a North Carolina Central team who got blasted in their matchup with Howard, who ended up making the Celebration Bowl, but then, hung tough in that FCS playoff game against Richmond. Honestly, we go back and forth and talk about, the style and the physicality of the MEAC. If Body doesn't show up to perform, and if they don't physically match well against NC Central, I think NC Central could just physically pound them.
Mm-hmm.
Which honestly, I think if you're NC Central, you're gonna have to rely on that if you're gonna survive the elements down there. You may catch a break if it rains. If it rains, I think it does work in NC Central's favor.
Yeah,
the passing element, which honestly, going down there, Florida weather, as we all know, is unpredictable. If you turn into a pass,
especially at that 3 o'clock, 1 o'clock is a different. I'll say this: in Florida, 1 o'clock weather is way different than 3 o'clock weather.
Yes.
And if you're from Florida, you know what I mean. Because 1 o'clock, that sun is hot, brutal, and humid. 3 o'clock is shit's pouring.
Yes. Now,
for the other games, South California, USC versus LSU. I literally just transferred my wide receiver character in College Football 25 from USC to LSU. Ironic.
It's funny to me, LSU and US with this one. USC's been trying for 2 years to get out of this game.
They ducking the smoke.
I find that to be very funny. So
Who is the quarterback for USC this year? I have no idea now. All these guys moved around so much last year. I am so confused. Anyways, I'm still taking the Newsman.
The newsman.
Yeah, Newsmeyer. Isn't he the quarterback now?
Oh, Garrett Nussmeier. I thought you said the news.
Nussmeyer. I thought it was, well, I said Nussmeyer. Well, I said Newsmeyer. I get the Newsman. Oh, well. Nussmeyer, whatever. I don't know. Anyways, Garrett Nussmeyer. That's the thing. Their wide receiver core is always good. Defense is better this year than it was last year for LSU. So, yeah, LSU wins this game.
Yeah, I think LSU wins it too. Honestly, again, if you've been trying to run from somebody for 2 years and you still haven't been able to run from them, an ass whooping awaits, I feel.
Yeah, and Florida State, y'all got to bounce back.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, now look, if Florida State don't win that game,
it's over.
It's over. Now, Mike Norvell, because I looked at what Allison was tweeting today about the morale of the team coming back. A lot of them were pissed off and upset, and they didn't like the product they put on the field in Ireland. So they are
in clubs. Legal drinking age in Europe is 18? So they probably could have had a little too much fun over there.
Possibly. But the good thing is, you got an opportunity now to come back in front of a 80,000 and in front of a talented quarterback and make a play and make something happen and right the wrong. Because now you can, if Florida State bounces back and just handles Boston College, it'll change the perception. It'll be like, whoa, okay, that's the Florida State we were expecting to see.
It was just some week 0 jitters, fluke game kind of thing if you blow out Boston College. And now if you lose, it's, all right, should we be panicking full scale on them? DEFCON 1 type of thing.
True.
Such is with media narratives.
So I think, I'm going to give Florida State a chance, and I'm going to say I'm going to project them to win it.
Alabama got this.
Alabama's got West Kentucky.
Yeah, that's a nobody, right? Huh. Chargers agreed to trade with Falcons for quarterback Taylor Heineke. That just broke.
And I guess with that, we can go to the NFL now.
I was just trying to see if there was any other good games this week. Most of these games are pretty trash. I ain't gonna lie.
Those were the top 10 games right there. Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Arizona versus New Mexico. Shout out Arizona, better win that game.
Arizona favored.
Jalen McMillan's little brother better cook them.
Hey,
or cousin. It might be cousin, actually. I'm not entirely sure which one it is.
Arizona by 31.
I know they're related.
Arizona by 31. So, I don't know if you saw it.
Spread is minus 30.5.
I don't know if you saw it. Brandon Ayuk walking off the field at Chargers practice.
At 49ers practice, yeah.
Yeah, 49ers practice. Actually, I could share my screen again.
He's just walking. He didn't do practice or anything like that. He's still holding out.
My thing is, and then John Lynch said something. He also released.
They said he was going to go to practice today, and he didn't.
So, okay. Readers Attic.
This video's old.
It was posted July 24th, 2024. Either way that I look at this, still, he was still throwing a hissy fit.
Mm-hmm.
Either way. Because it's you look at his body language here, and you're just like, dude, really? And then for John Lynch to come out and say what he also said, this kind of still holds weight. Because it gives the impression of, I don't want to be here.
Now I'm going to say this. You also had a CD Lamb contract. Yeah, 49ers ain't giving Ayuk that, so.
I did.
I won't. I will say CD Lamb is way better than Ayuk. And also, he probably shouldn't get that contract. So, Ayuk's contract, CD Lamb was, I believe, 37-ish million, I want to say. 36, 37 million.
So CeeDee
Plus
Lamb
that massive
contract,
signing bonus and guaranteed money. Second highest, I believe, out of any non-quarterback.
4 years, $136 million.
So that's what 36-ish million, give or take.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Second
Ayuk's not
highest
getting that.
paid-
Ayuk should be getting probably like 33-ish. I don't
second
think the
highest paid
49ers give him that.
non-quarterback in NFL history.
Yeah, Ayuk's going to be just under that number, and 49ers aren't going to hit it.
Oh no, not at all. They're going to. I feel like he still gets traded. To where I don't know.
If I was in, I would say probably Pittsburgh needs to jump on that. But I don't know what Pittsburgh's vision is for that team that they have because they're starting Russell Wilson. Which means if I will say this is gonna go off topic, which I'll try to. I'm gonna keep this for once we finish Ayuk. Pittsburgh needs Ayuk. While the 49ers, they have Pearsall, who's gonna be healthy now. He's battled a shoulder injury, missed most of the preseason. You got Debo, who you could use all over the field, even though he's not a true number one. So that's why you have Pearsall. You still got George Kittle, one of the best receiving and blocking tight ends, and you got McCaffrey, who's pretty much a wide receiver one in his own right. So with all that, you're like, you can trade Ayuk and just say, okay, you know what? We're going into the season, hasn't been resolved. We don't need the distraction in the locker room because we need to focus on actually playing ball. Just wash your hands and be done with it and say, well, we tried, it didn't work. It is what it is, pretty much. Because it's not like they didn't plan for it with Ayuk because they knew the negotiations would be tough because otherwise they wouldn't have drafted a wide receiver in the first round.
Yeah. Dude, I personally just feel like he needs to get out. I feel like it's time for him to go. He needs to go and be what he thinks he can be somewhere else.
And that's somewhere it takes us to.
He could have gone to Cleveland by now.
He didn't want to go to Cleveland. That's the issue. Like, Mike Tomlin he said he wants his son. Yes.
You could have gone to New England, but again, I get it. You don't want to play for a loser either. I get it. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I'm gonna call it what it is. New England's not a winner. New England's they stink. Shout out to Terrell Jennings for getting on the practice squad, but New England stinks. I don't anticipate them making the playoffs.
Nah, Drake May is gonna be good, but he ain't making the playoffs this year. AFC's too loaded. Now the team that needs him decided to start Russell Wilson, and I will tell you this right now: if the Steelers go and drop those first two games, Justin Fields is opening the first game at home as a starting quarterback.
I think Justin Fields needs to be the starter regardless, if you ask me.
Because Steelers cannot afford to choke the early parts of the season because all their 6 of their division games are after week 11. So they literally have no room for error in the first half of the season.
Boy. It's going to be interesting, to say the least.
Mm-hmm. And they already lost 2 of their starting interior O-line.
Which also too, Juju. Speaking of wide receivers, Juju landed back in Kansas City again. So hopefully he'll be able to. He's trying to hope to be able to ride Mahomes' coattails to another Super Bowl. Funny enough, and also too, your favorite wide receiver got released.
My favorite. I've always said Florida wide receivers never work out in the first round.
Favorite wide receiver got cut.
Well, Xavier Smith did get cut. Yes, it was a very sad day yesterday.
That was, thankfully, Xavier Smith is brought back to practice squad. Also, thank God. Were those the main 2?
Isaiah Land, shout out him making the 53-man on Indianapolis again. He was on there last year, back on it again this year.
Excellent.
Well, we obviously know Marquise Bell.
Oh yeah, dude, that was a gimme. Dude, the man was a starter. The only I'm not worried about Marquise Bell either making or not making the team. I want to see
The payday.
get paid. And
Oh, they got done with CD, so who knows? Anyways, now you want to talk about my favorite wide receiver getting cut. I've already said this. I don't trust Florida wide receivers in the first round. And sure enough, but he got cut. If you don't know who I'm talking about Kadarius Toney getting cut. Anyways, him getting cut, not surprising. Some idiot's franchise will pick him up, and hopefully he can catch the ball. Because when he catches the ball, he's all right. The problem is getting the ball in his hands.
Dude, God, that man is so freaking pitiful. I mean, wasn't he ruled as inactive for the Super Bowl too on purpose? It's like the Super Bowl and the AFC Championship.
AFC Championship, I think.
Okay, I knew it was one of the two.
It's so funny because he caught the game winner in his first year there, and then the second year it's just like it just all went wrong. Every spot you can imagine, it went wrong. So
Got too.
I don't know what to say with him.
Got too satisfied. Also, too, Dalvin Cook landed in Dallas.
Yeah, Celtic Shaq. Who cares?
Stop it.
Okay, I'll be nice. Dalvin Cook in Dallas. You know what? That's actually, if he has any sort of juice left in the tank, it's a good move. Now the question is, does he have any juice left in the tank?
Yeah. No, honestly, you do wonder about that. You know, it's like
he went to New York last year and it was rough. But then again, Le'Veon Bell went to New York and it was rough. So who knows? Running backs just go to die in New York. You never know.
Possibly. And then also, it's like he's going to be in New Dallas sharing reps with Zeke because Tony Pollard's gone.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see. I'm hoping that he does end up being the starter. A lot of just it's iffy with Dallas's offense right now. It's just for me. I can't put my finger on it or get behind it. Quite honestly.
Well, neither of us could take CD Lamb at fantasy because we both had crappy late round picks, and somehow we still drafted better than most people.
Hey, I'm happy.
I like my team. I still regret. I shouldn't say I regret. I kind of like question taking Saquon over Jonathan Taylor, but I think Saquon should be fine in the second round.
You'll be fine. The other thing too is, speaking of fantasy teams, if you are doing fantasy football, be mindful Nick Chubb will stay on the pup list for the first 4 weeks. Mind you, remember?
Hey, I took him. I took that flyer. I was like, if he come back and he good again.
Yeah. Hey.
God damn.
Dude, but honestly, right now you got Jonathan Ford holding down the fort in Cleveland. So
Jerome Ford.
Jerome Ford. I keep forgetting his name.
I would say it wouldn't shock me if they go and they take one of the 4 the quarterbacks they have on the roster. They have Deshaun, Jameis, Tyler Huntley, and Dorian Thompson. Thompson Robinson. Oh god. Anyways, wouldn't shock me if they go and they trade Tyler Huntley to a team and for like a backup running back or something like that.
I've heard Jameis's name is on the chopping block.
No, they said they're not trading Jameis. They already said that this morning. Yesterday they said they were listening to offers, but I think it's mostly Tyler Huntley they're listening to trade offers for. Now a team like say Dallas or there's somebody else who needs a backup quarterback. Oh yeah, LA, the Rams. We already said Taylor Heineke got traded to the Chargers. They needed one badly because Easton Stick sucked like terribly.
But wait,
so I can see.
Don't the Rams have Stetson Bennett? Stop. See what you and Georgia players, man. Golly.
1 pick, 2 pick, 3 pick, 4 pick. That's how it worked out for him in the preseason. Man threw 4 picks in the preseason. Then again, Trey Lance threw 5. So battle of ass right there.
Who would you rather have? Trey Lance.
Bro, when I say I will take Trey Lance over Stetson Bennett, there's only one reason, really. I should say it's 2 reasons. 1, he's about the same age as Jaden Daniels. 2, the man has barely played football since 2019 in game. What he really truly needs is to go to the UFL and just take reps in the UFL or whatever it's called now. Isn't it? It's the UFL, right? Or XFL or whatever it is. That's what he should have done, honestly. He should have went there for the offseason and just played. Because he needs the reps, like live reps. He can't just play in practice. Stetson Bennett, on the other hand, is older than Joe Burrow, I think. Or it might be the same age as Joe Burrow. One of the two.
He was in college for a while.
How old is Sassor Bennett? He's like 28, right?
Yeah, he was like last we checked. He was 28.
Let me see. Stetson Bennett.
I mean, hell, he might be 29 now.
Oh, he's only 26. I thought he was older than that. October 28th, so he'd be 27 this year.
Oh, still, he was in college for a long ass time.
Quarterbacks under 27 in the NFL. I want to see who's the same age as Stetson Bennett. 27-year-old quarterbacks. Let's see. Well, we know Aaron Rodgers definitely ain't no 27-year-old. Wait, Aaron Rodgers is the oldest active quarterback?
Yes, he is. Because everybody else.
Second oldest.
Who's the second oldest?
Joe Flacco.
That makes sense.
How old is Mahomes?
Oh, I think him and he's a year older than Baker.
Burrow's 27. Burrow will be 28 in December. So Burrow's a year older than Bennett.
Actually, also, you know what? I need you to tell me about this. What happened with Nakua?
Samson Nakua? Yeah, sad story. He didn't make the team. He was all right, but like his separation skills were kind of trash. I'm not gonna lie with you. Kickoff return, he almost had a kick six. He stepped out of bounds though. But I mean, the Saints were interesting with their wide receiver core because they drafted a dude in the 5th round, Bub Means, who they kept on the roster, and then they have this guy Mason Tipton. He probably should have got drafted, but he got hurt at the end of his college tenure, so he went undrafted, and then he balled out in training camp, and then he got hurt like warm-ups of the first preseason game, but they kept him on the roster because they felt he was good enough in camp. So he made the team. So Nakua didn't make it. Now, I will find one that was interesting was Lonnie Johnson. He got cut by the Texans, I believe. And he went and he signed with Carolina, but somebody put out a report saying the Saints had interest in bringing him back. And he quote tweeted that tweet and said, "First time I'm hearing about that." Then it announced today that he was signing with the Carolina Panthers, and he said, he tweeted on his Twitter, or X, whatever the hell you want to call it nowadays, I have much love for you, Noah, but I have major beef, basically, with front office. Or with that office, he said. He didn't say the front office. So you're like, God damn.
Yeah.
Who I beef with? Tell me who it is. Mickey or Dennis? Both of them can go for all I care.
Oh my gosh. Not you saying both of them can go.
Both of them can go. I mean, what are we going to say about that?
So, also among those also cut, aside from Samson Nakua, was Desmond Ritter, who made a Uber commercial. Funny, or was it a DoorDash commercial? And they
His
people
job.
Hey, he already has a second job picked out. The other one that was sad that I figured I was not expecting was Frank Gore Jr. He got cut.
Somebody will pick him up.
Oh, 100%. Caleb Fairley.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. Before you keep going, I don't want to cut you off on that one. I feel bad for that guy. He had major back problems in college, but he was real. He had all pro potential and just injuries. Like he had the back issue, then he tore his ACL, and his parents died in a house fire while he was out. All in his first 2 years in the NFL. I feel like, damn, I feel bad for that guy. I hope somebody gives him a shot and he actually works out for him. He one of those guys. You're like, I hope it works out for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you really do. Someone like that's rough. That's rough. Oh snap, Mike Hall Jr. Oh my god. Oh my goodness, dude. Yeah, he don't need to play no more. Oh my goodness, check this out. Player since the end of the 2021 season. The second-round defensive tackle out of Ohio State officially landed on the commissioner's exempt list Tuesday, effectively paid leave after being charged with domestic violence earlier this month. Per local police, the 21-year-old has been accused of putting a gun to his fiance's head and threatening to kill her during the course of an argument. Yeah, he's done. He's never going to play again.
Well, that's the NFL. They like wife beater. Well, no, that's the NBA. Never mind.
But he's never going to play again.
Yeah, he shouldn't play again. But then again, Miles Bridges is in the NBA still, so who knows?
I was like, but Cam Sutton ain't playing no more either.
No, he's suspended, but he's back with the Steelers.
Yeah, dude, see, he doesn't need to play anymore. That dude is.
It was funny. I saw the Hillsborough County arrest warrant for him before I heard it on Twitter that he had an arrest warrant.
Yeah, he did.
On the poster, because sometimes on the billboards in Tampa they will have like wanted for blah 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 blah, and then you'll see it driving. And I was like, hold up, ain't that an NFL guy?
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
So other notable cuts were Dante Foreman for the Cleveland Browns, Allen Robinson with the Giants, Noah Brown
with the Lions.
Oh, he did. He got picked up immediately.
Yeah, Allen Robinson got picked up.
Okay. We also got.
I don't know what that says about J-Mo though.
Yeah, I'm hoping he's legit. And also Lewis Sign from Minnesota. Somebody pointed out a lot of
that. He was promising his rookie year. I just remember that. That was the Saints played them in London. He had a really good game and he tore his ACL or he has some kind of knee injury.
Oh, Lewis
and since then he hasn't bounced back like that. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, someone pointed out the list of like Georgia players that like did not work out.
Yeah.
Like, and Nakobe
Jordan Davis has been struggling in Philly. No one's heard anything about him.
Because Jordan Davis was the giant 300-pounder.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it hasn't worked for him either.
Because what's his name? Kelly Ringo was another one that was on that list.
Nakobe Dean.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, I remember a year ago, and I'll admit we were guilty of it, being so uppity about like
Georgia players in the NFL.
Yeah, like, and how could you let so many Georgia players go to the Eagles?
Quay Walker hasn't worked out with the Packers. Devontae White's been all right though. Because they got two Georgia boys over there too. I'm trying to think. Trayvon Walker, he went number 1 from Georgia, but he had 10 sacks last year.
Because he's the one that ended up in Jacksonville. Yes.
Was
he the one that ended up in Jacksonville, correct?
Yeah, the one who got one first.
Yeah.
Even though people were mad he went over Hutchinson, which he still shouldn't have won over Aiden, but 10 sacks last year, second season, that's not bad.
I mean, we all knew Aiden Hutchinson was going to be
a dog.
The dog and the prodigal son of Detroit, because I mean it was destiny. Let's call it what it is.
Michigan.
Yeah, like we knew he was going there. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like it was going to be a line regardless. But yeah, I mean just the amount of Georgia players that hasn't panned out. But I guess for the ones that didn't pan out, there's also ones that did. And then there's also ones that you're hoping will also pan out. So
Georgia on offense has worked out decent.
Oh yeah, dude, yeah.
I mean, we got Pickens. He's been pretty good. I mean, what's his name? Well, technically, Adonai Mitchell was Georgia, right? And then he went to Texas.
Who? A.D. Mitchell.
Adonai Mitchell.
Yeah, A.D. Mitchell was else. Yeah.
He was Georgia. He went to Texas, but now he's in the NFL. He's promising. James Cook, Georgia boy.
Promising.
Good. Brock Bowers, very promising.
Yeah. Tyke Smith.
Yeah. Like offensively, they've been decent. The offensive line has been pretty decent coming out. It's just the defense. It's like they, as a unit, they were great. Individually, you see the flaws in each of them.
Oh yeah, and I think they're a product of the scheme they were in. It was so favorable.
Like I
Plus,
said, the only thing stopping Georgia is Georgia State Police. Anyways, anything else? Juju, we already talked about him. Juju with that knee, man. I don't know what's that. All the Bucks draft picks. The Bucks had a deep draft. I'm not surprised.
yeah,
They had a good one. I like their draft.
Back-to-back years.
McMillan about to make noise. They didn't use him much in the preseason, but boy, you better watch out,
dude. And then you see Jason Light.
I'm still mad about the Saints, and I can have a whole rant about them right now if you want. But it's kind of already an hour 15 in. I don't feel like having it. But I have the content right here ready in my head to go. If you just want me to, let me know. But my mouth is tired.
The funny thing was, you saw where I don't know if
Spencer Rattler 10 times better than Derek Carr, and Derek Carr gave him a glass evil eye and got caught on camera doing it. And then you have Alontae Taylor saying the man ran the offense better than Derek Carr, and then he had to go put out a tweet saying, "No, that's not what I meant."
It's gonna be a fun year in New Orleans. I can see it now.
Week 9, Carolina Panthers. Starting quarterback number 18, Spencer Rattler. Get ready. That's all I gotta say.
Now, I will say Jason Light did come out and say, he was like, I hope everybody picks Atlanta to win this division.
Oh, I hope so too.
I hope so, 3.
Because I can't wait when they crash and burn because they don't know who the hell their quarterback is.
That's true as well, too.
I said if Pittsburgh loses those first 2 games, you'll see Justin Fields week 3. If Atlanta loses those first 2 games, that noise for Michael Penix is gonna be loud. It will be very loud. Because unlike the Saints, who took Spencer Rattler in the 5th round, the Bucs took Michael Penix with the 8th pick. So if they start off slow, get ready and look out. Because it is about pandemonium.
All right, Ace. So
no hot topics. I don't know if we have any hot topics.
No, we don't have any hot topics. Because
NBA have any good stuff.
Bow Wow didn't do anything to humiliate himself this week.
Who?
No, because you remember last week Bow Wow ran he attempted to run like the fastest 40 and break the 40 record and stuff. And he ran like a 6'1".
Oh, Field Yates from ESPN dislocated his shoulder for a fantasy draft. I thought that was hilarious. If you saw that one on YouTube.
Good God, no, he did. I'm gonna go look it up later. But are you kidding me?
No. All right, let's go through the fantasy teams in the league for hot topics. I don't know. I just feel like doing it.
I'm third.
I got logged out. Give me a second. I gotta get in.
I said, why was it doing?
There we go. Let's go through the league. Who got who? Fill load. There we go. All right, let's look at your team first, shall we?
Yay.
You stacked Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Very interesting play. I like it. Except I play you week 1, so I don't like it very much. But you guys play Kansas City, so that means your quarterback and running back 1 is going Thursday night. So that would be fun.
Now, what if they go off?
Pollard is your RB2. Interesting. That should work out. Unless Tyjae Spears takes all his work.
Hoping not.
You went interesting route on that wide receiver position. You went with wide receiver 2s and pass heavy offenses.
You have to.
But you passed up on wide receiver 1s for wide receiver 2.
In time.
You passed up on DK for Devontae. Which I would say is probably not a bad move, though. Devontae's been solid. He's been consistent, I would say that. But he's never actually taken the wide receiver 1 spot from A.J. Brown. It's like he's had, looking at his last year's stats, he's only had 3 games of over 20 fantasy points.
Every dog.
And Jalen Waddle, let's see how many games he had over 20 fantasy points.
He had a lot.
I'm just doing an analysis of them. He had 1, 2, 3 games as well over 20, but he was also injured a couple games. So they should work out. Tight end, Dalton Schultz, Gabe Davis. Oof, I don't like that.
Well, Gabe Davis is my flex.
Why you have Noah Brown?
Yeah, I got to change that. I didn't realize he got released. I've not been on there today.
And you got Jameson Williams. If he plays like he's supposed to, that should work out. Let's look at Flash's team. Flash sniped some guys for me, but it's all good. Jordan Love at quarterback.
He made sure to get McMillan.
Yeah.
And all Washington guys.
He has a Jordan Love, Jaden Reed stack. That's an interesting play. Kenneth Walker, Jackson Smith-Njigba, and Zach Charbonnet from Seattle. Kyler Murray on the bench. His tight end is trash, though. Oh, my God. He got Jatavian Sanders. That's his only tight end.
Yeah, he did fully.
He got Polk, McMillan. Oh, he didn't got Odunze, though. I'm
pretty sure I got Odunze.
No, you don't have Odunze.
I have one of those Washington wide receivers.
I'm going to go back and check. Already an hour 20. No, I don't see you have Roman Wilson.
Okay, that's the one.
That's the rookie you have. Let's look at Chad. Chad. What Chad got? Herbert, Pacheco, Brees Hall. Ooh, that's nasty. Tank Dale, Rashee Rice, Najee Harris, Trey McBride. Oh, God. Chad got a squad. Caleb Williams, Javonte, Mike Williams, if he's healthy, could be good off the bench. Damn. Yeah, Chad got a squad. Chad sniped me on quarterback twice. I'm so mad about that. Hendricks. I'm just going through the penalty talk main teams. I'm not going through everybody on this league.
Go ahead.
Anthony Richardson, Ramondre, A-Chain, Justin Jefferson, Drake London, Calvin Ridley. Not bad. Bench is trash because of auto draft for the other half. Let's check Dalton. Dalton didn't show up tonight, but we'll just go through his team. Brock Purdy, Aaron Jones, Cameron Williams, Pittman, Chase, Higgins. Ooh, wow. If he had Joe Burrow, he needs to go trade for Joe Burrow instead of Brock Purdy. Because if he could stack Jamar Chase with T. Higgins with them, that would be nasty. Mark Andrews, his tight end. My team, on the other hand, let's see. My quarterbacks are trash. I don't even got to worry about that. I already know that. I got Tua at quarterback. I punted on the quarterback position for like 10 rounds. It's all good, though. I got Tua at quarterback.
Justin Fields and Will Levis.
Yeah, I was taking flyers for the second half of the season. I was expecting Justin Fields to get announced as starter, but, that didn't happen. Anyways, we got Saquon and DeAndre Swift at running backs RB1 and 2. DK Metcalf, Garrett Wilson. I really did not want to take Garrett Wilson in my first round pick, but that's just how the board felt because had the second to last pick in the draft, first round with a 14-man league, and I wasn't happy. But we took Wilson, Saquon to round out the top. George Kittle, and my brain just died there. George Kittle at tight end, Malik Neighbors at flex. Then the bench got Keon Coleman, Brian Thomas, and Trey Benson with Brock Bowers and Nick Chubb on the IR with Will Levis and Fields. Yeah, that was unintentional. But I've been scooping up Brian Thomas and Keon Coleman everywhere. And unintentionally, I got both LSU wide receivers. I didn't intend for that. I'll be real. I prefer Ohio State wide receivers, but LSU wide receivers have been productive when they got in the NFL in the first round. It's kind of ironic when you think about it. Florida wide receivers always suck in the first round, but LSU wide receivers in the first round generally hit. They always hit.
LSU's wide receiver, DBU, but LSU wide receivers, they produce. They have a track record of producing.
You know what? Next week we should have a segment on which school is wide receiver U between Ohio State and LSU.
Let's do it.
Because that'd be fun when you think about it, because they got dogs on both sides.
Let's do it. We can make it happen.
And no movies to talk about tonight. We're just yapping at this point.
I guess, Ace, you can go ahead and give me your prediction for this weekend. Give me your FAMU South Carolina State.
All right, come around, everybody, for tonight's episode of Ace's prediction for FAMU's next game. FAMU, I'm going to take 38. South Carolina State 28. No, I'll take them 31. No, 31 or 30. You know what? Give me 30.
Are you sure? Going once, going twice.
Wait. 38. Give me a second. I gotta do some math here. Got 38 minus 8. That's 30. Yeah, give me 38, 30. Because the spread is 9.5. So wait, spread is 9.5. Ah, shit. Give me 38, 28.
38 to 28. Okay.
I feel like they'll have a field goal in there though, so it'll probably be 38, 31. But just for the sake of hitting the spread for FAMU, I'm gonna hit 38, 28.
Okay. That's actually fair. I could see that happening.
I think the offense won't start as slow as it did last week, but the defense still has its issues, especially in the secondary.
Yeah, I think they struggle for a half. They come alive in the second half.
And the ground and pound wears them down. To wrap it up, just gotta not put the ball on the turf. With that being said, thank you for another long episode of the Run Gun Podcast, where Ace and JPeeps just yap about sports, but we do fun ways.
We do
fun yapping.
FAMU South Carolina State preview Saturday at 1 p.m. in Tallahassee. Make sure y'all tune in right here and check it out. But yeah, so that's gonna do it for us. As always, stay happy, stay safe, stay blessed. We can't wait to
be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. We are at 199 followers, I believe. So if anybody would be so kind as to drop a subscription for us, or just subscribe to you, so we can hit that nice 200. We're at 198 actually. So there's two people. That's all we need, bro. Just help grow the channel. Once we get 200, we can keep growing to 300, and 500, then 1,000, and then soon later, then we'll be all happy peoples.
1 billion.
Nah, not 1 million. We'll take 1 million. I still can't believe people just do post exercise videos and they have 1 million subscribers. That's just hilarious, in my opinion.
We should post some exercise videos.
Yeah, actually, that might work. I'll tell you after. I'll tell you off air my new workout regimen.
But yeah, folks, y'all stay hooked on right here. Don't go anywhere. Make sure y'all 1 or 2 more subscribers help us get to 200. But yeah, thank you so much. Good night.